Hey there, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be reviewing the Singapore Airlines First Class Lounge at Singapore Changi Airport Terminal 2 on my recent visit in May 2025. I'm going to be reviewing the food options, the drinks you can have here, and reviewing the facilities as well. And most crucially, I'm going to tell you why you should never come here if you're actually flying on Singapore Airlines First Class. Stick around to find out. As the name suggests, the lounge I'm reviewing today is located in Singapore Changi Airport Terminal 2. Once you clear security, you should see a sign just to the left pointing in the direction of these escalators, which will take you to the lounge. Access is granted to anybody flying on a first-class ticket on either Singapore Airlines or another Star Alliance airline, or members of Singapore Airlines loyalty program at Solitaire PPS Club level. This is the highest level it's possible to attain on Singapore Airlines and requires spending roughly 50,000 Singapore dollars per year on first or business class flights. Once you get to the top of the escalator, the lounge is straight ahead. Upon entering the lounge, you walk down a nicely appointed corridor into the main body. Just on the left, they had some nice Singapore Airlines branded goods that you could purchase, and you walk past a bar, which is tended by a bartender from 6 AM onwards. This lounge recently underwent a refurbishment, and it shows. There are flowers everywhere, and everything looked very nicely done. Notwithstanding how nicely it was decorated, the lounge itself was actually quite small. It was pretty much only this room. That's probably because only a handful of Singapore Airlines flights fly out of Terminal 2. The vast majority use Terminal 3. As it was about 5 o'clock in the morning when I arrived, I went to get a cup of coffee. They have coffee machines that make a wide variety, including espresso, latte, or Americano. They also have TWG tea or Singapore Airlines' own in-house tea available should you wish. I settled down with my coffee and a sparkling water and got a very light bit of food from the buffet. Some bacon, some hash browns, and some dim sum. This was nice, but frankly no different from what you'd get in a business class lounge. The bar, which is tended from 6 AM onwards, serves a variety of cocktails, spirits, and can also make you barista-style coffee. There was an impressive selection of high-end spirits, wines, and champagnes to choose from, although, as it was before 6 o'clock in the morning, I wasn't indulging. They also had some Mövenpick ice cream, which is a surprisingly low-end brand for a first-class lounge, and various soft drinks and beers available too. These included Evian, Perrier, and Tiger Beer. As it was breakfast time, they were serving a limited buffet option, including your typical Western choices, as well as dim sum. They also had several Indian and Malay options, reflecting Singapore's cultural heritage of mixed ethnicities. Hey, if you're liking the video so far, please subscribe. If you don't fancy eating anything hot, they also had a selection of pre-made sandwiches, cut fruits, things like yogurts and cheeses, a few additional hot snacks like puffs and pastries, and a bread section that included a naan bread, which was nice to see. They also had a small selection of pastries, and I tried one of the pandan ones, which was tasty. In addition, they featured a very small made-to-order section with a chef who would make Singapore favourites like laksa and carrot cake. I tried the carrot cake with a mix of black and white, and it was actually very good, extremely well done, and a perfect breakfast. It came with a standard chili sauce on the side, which paired with it perfectly. To be honest, this was the highlight of the food in the lounge. In an effort to be somewhat healthy, I got one more coffee and some of the cut fruits. These tasted fresh and tasty. I enjoyed them. Tucked away in the back of the lounge are some recliner chairs that you could use to get some sleep if you were here for an extended period of time. Although, as I mentioned earlier, I'll explain to you why you shouldn't be staying here for any extended period of time if you're actually flying on Singapore Airlines First Class. Having had my meal, I went to the toilet area to check it out, and wow, this is done to a really high standard and features premium products like Dyson hand dryers. They also had shower rooms available, stocked with a bunch of amenities, including Lalique body spray, which smells so good. The showers were very nicely appointed and come with both a detachable shower head and a rain shower, which I'm always glad to see. The toiletries in the shower were generic ones. I have no idea who makes these. They might be Singapore Airlines' own brand, but they smelled nice. Overall, it's great to see a shower in a lounge. When you need it, you really need it. Now, as promised, I'm going to tell you why you shouldn't come here if you're actually flying on Singapore Airlines First Class. You see, when you have a Singapore Airlines First Class ticket, you can access any of their lounges in any terminal. And Terminal 2 and Terminal 3 are connected by a SkyTrain airside that only takes about 2 minutes to get between terminals. So even if you're flying out of Terminal 2, like I was today, you can hop across and use the lounges in Terminal 3. Most crucially, you can use the Singapore Airlines Private Room Lounge in Terminal 3. This lounge is only available to passengers actually flying on a Singapore Airlines First or Suites Class ticket. Flying on another Star Alliance airline in First, that won't get you in. Being their highest tier PPS Solitaire Club member, that won't get you in. Only an actual first class ticket will. The private room is far quieter and far nicer and has individual table service with an a la carte menu. I've published a full review of a private room, which is linked at the end of this video, but for now, I'll just show you some of the food I had on my last visit. As you can see here, the food quality and overall presentation is far higher than in the Terminal 2 lounge. The only reason I didn't come here today was because my flight was taking off at 6:20 in the morning, and the private room only opens at 5 a.m. That wouldn't have given me enough time to actually enjoy the lounge to any material amount and still make it back to Terminal 2 to board my flight. However, every other time that I'm flying on Singapore First, I come to Terminal 3 to begin with before heading to Terminal 2 if that's where my flight's departing from. Overall, the Terminal 2 First Class Lounge is a nice lounge, don't get me wrong, and by international lounge standards, it's top notch. If I can make any criticism of it, it's that it's not really that different from the business class lounge in terms of the food. The drink is a higher quality and it's much quieter, and the toiletries and shower rooms are also done to a nicer standard, but it's not a radical difference. I think the only reason that I have the not overwhelmingly positive sentiment towards it is because I'm comparing it to the Terminal 3 lounge. The private room is so much nicer than this lounge, and you have access to both if you're flying first on Singapore Airlines. By all means, come here if you're flying on a Star Alliance carrier or you're a member of their PPS club. But if you're actually flying Singapore and you have the time to get between terminals, I would recommend you go to Terminal 3 instead. It just does not compare.